Okay, some folk have been discussing the 16-bit gaming era and what it does for you, Jibba Pac-Man, for example. Uh, I think personally, I grew up with the 8-bit systems. When I was a kid, we had an old Pong machine, and then we got a Philips Video Packer Odyssey 2, which I use a lot for my gaming. And I think the Odyssey 2 is a strange system because I think it's a 4004 Intel processor, which may even be 4-bit. I'm not sure, but I started with 4-bit gaming perhaps. But yeah, the Commodore 64, the VIC-20, the ZX Spectrum, the MSX, all those machines were in my youth as a kid, going to high school and stuff. Yeah, so 8-bit gaming really stands for the gaming area the gaming era that I experienced as a kid. And in '89, I graduated high school and I moved on to university and medical school, and I brought my Commodore 64 and my MSX with me, and the first PC XT that I had. The rest of all the stuff that I acquired stayed at home with my parents. Um, so yeah, and I did get a Nintendo, an 8-bit Nintendo at university, and then I got a SNES. Um, but I also got a Model 1 Mega Drive, and just because it was far more easy to operate than the Amiga I had back home. I had a pretty big setup, so that stayed there. The Genesis or the Mega Drive, as it is also called in Europe, really has a lot of similarities with the Amiga games. A lot of the same or similar games showed up on that system, and yeah, I love the Bitmap Brother games. But yeah, when it comes to my favorite gaming era, that would be Nintendo 8-bit, Nintendo 16-bit, and Sega 16-bit, up to the PlayStation, Saturn 32-bit era. But things kind of went sour for me with the PlayStation 2. I do love the system though, but it's not the same. And even the Dreamcast. I mean, I'm just I have this big chunk of Dreamcast hardware. I'm actually a little behind on the number of games that I want to have, but um, yeah, and I mean, and I love the Xbox. I really love the original Xbox, and the 360. I mean, I got the 360 at launch date, and it was launched in the Netherlands. For once, we in the Netherlands had a launch premiere. Um, well, we still don't have any indie games, so that sucks, because I love indie games. And I actually was a member of that developing. What is it? You could get developing software for your PC, and you would have to pay a membership, and I did that for a while, but there's just no way to publish or use your game in the Netherlands because there's no indie platform available. I mean, the menu is there, but for some reason, licensing problems, the indie games aren't just there, in the Netherlands at least. Yeah, and I got a PlayStation 3 and stuff. I mean, I do love the modern games, but only specific games. I mean, I do tend to like the platforming, adventure-like games with a story. First-person shooters I like on the PC, but not so much on the consoles. I mean, I'm getting used to the control schemes, but yeah. So I'm just, my thoughts are just like all over the place. Yeah. So I mean, I do have a weak spot for the Genesis slash Mega Drive, the Sega Masters. Yeah, I mean, I'm all over these consoles, but I think my favorite consoles would be the 16-bit consoles with a 68,000 Motorola processor, and that actually includes the Neo Geo. I mean, if you look at the Neo Geo, I mean, it has a Z80 8-bit processor, and it has a Motorola 6800 processor, 68,000 processor, I mean. And the Mega Drive Genesis also has that, and the Amiga and the Atari ST. So yeah, many similar systems. I'm rambling. It's a beautiful day. I think I'll quit now and go enjoy the outdoors.